This week on Tortola Pier Park Project Update, Minister Vanterpool of the Ministry of Communications and Works had this to say.
Madam Speaker, members of the public would have noticed a flurry of activity taking place at the cruise ship dock area on Wickham's Quay in Rotown since the middle of last year, 2014. This major infrastructural project being undertaken by our government will see the existing cruise bay being widened, strengthened, and lengthened, and the land side is being developed to include a terminal and a welcome facility, restaurants, shops, and other amenities. The objective here, Madam Speaker, is to create a world-class experience for our visitors in an effort to ensure that the Virgin Islands remains globally competitive as a tourist destination.
We toured the Cruise Pier Development Project with Project Manager Dion Stout of STO Enterprise. Mr. Stout pointed out all the recent developments on the pier.
A couple of weeks ago, we had a number of slabs and beams out here, and those have already been implemented into the expansion of the pier. Directly behind me is a precast area where the contractor has constructed all the precast elements for the extension of the dock and the widening of the dock. And right now we're dwindling down because most of those elements you will see out are already been placed on the dock. And in a couple of weeks, we're hopeful that one side of the dock will be ready for a ship to berth. Right in front of us, we have some sections of the 48-inch piles and the 36-inch piles. The 48-inch piles are the ones that were used to drive the mooring dolphins, which are the big, large dolphins out to the end of the dock. And the 36 inches are basically used on both sides of the dock for the widening. And these would accommodate the bigger ships because of the strength. Those piles went to a depth about 105 to 130 feet in length. So they're very much embedded into the seabed at this point. A dolphin is where the ships will be tying up. Those are independent structures, and you'll see them. There's 3 of them out to the end of the dock, and the ships will use those to moor either the front or the back of the lines, depending on how they're moored at the pier. We're trying to get one side of the pier completed in the next few weeks. And as you can see, we have already started putting back on some of the bullards. This is a completed bullard where the ship would tie up, and we have one more bullard inland and one more bullard in between the next bullard. So within the next couple of weeks, we'll have one side of the pier completed so that ships could theoretically dock at this pier. As you can see, we're continuing with the dredging activities. We're doing the mechanical dredging at this point. We're completed with the hydraulic dredging, which was a soft dredge, and we have to use this crane with a bucket on the end to deposit into this barge to get the remaining dredge materials from to the bottom of the ocean. This material will be further deposited into the revetment area that the other material was deposited into. This process is much slower than the other process, but it's necessary because of the hard materials that we find underneath the ocean floor. Here you'll see the steel cages that are put down into those piles that we mentioned before. These cages will go into the 36-inch piles. The piles are filled with gravel up until 10 feet below the surface, and then we put this steel cage in and cast concrete for the last 10 feet. That will cause a moment connection between this and also the pile cap, so that's why we only cast the last 10 feet of each pile. Right now we're standing on the completed extension, northeast extension of the pier. We've already replaced the bullards and also the fenders. As you can see, this bullard is wrapped up so that nobody dings it, and when we're moving off, we'll just untape it, and it'll be a fresh bullard for when the ships and passengers arrive. So this is part of the completed northeast side, and we're hoping to have this ready within the next 2 to 3 weeks, the entire way down. Where we're standing right now is where the original dock ended. And as you can see, we've put the precast slabs down, and we're extending the dock some 200 feet. Out where those guys are on the last tub is the extent as which we'll move this dock out towards the sea. And beyond that, you'll see the dolphins. There's 3 of them. Guys are out on the last one as they intend to pour that tomorrow morning. And that'll be the end of the concrete works for all the dolphins. So as you can see, we're well on our way to having one side of this dock completed within the next couple of weeks. As of yesterday, we had 10 more piles to drive to complete the original scope of the works. So hopefully by the end of this week, fingers crossed, all the piling for the original scope will be done. And then in the next couple of weeks, when the additional piles reach, we'll do the extra additional bullards, which are inland. But we should have some peace and quiet for at least a week or 2 in terms of piling. We're standing now on the upper level of building number 1, which is a terminal building. And as you can see, the contractor is up to the roof. He's now putting on all the rafters. And in the next week or 2, we would have this building closed in. All of the finished elements such as the doors, windows, and the roof material are actually on site at this moment. So it's just for the contractor to get the labor available to get it up. So hopefully by the end of March, we'll have this building here fully completed. Out here gonna be a deck all the way around. That's what this is out here. So this is actually a door. Be able to walk out on this deck. This is dedicated as an office. Who's gonna occupy it at this moment is still left to be seen. But this office will overlook the pier, right down the middle of the pier, and also the guests coming in. So you'll be able to wave at the guests. There'll be 4 dedicated retail areas down here. This is 1, 2, 3, and the other one's 4. And this will be the central walkway that the guests come in to the building. We'll probably have the tourist board will have a information center in this location as well. So once the guests come in, they'll be able to be greeted by the tourist board department. And also we'll have local arts and crafts occupying this building. Telling you the doors and windows are already here. You can see some of them already laid out for the building. And hopefully within the next week or 2, the contractor will start installing these doors and windows, and we'll start looking like a complete building. This is building number 2 under construction. The guys started basically yesterday on building number 2, and they started last week on building number 3, where you see all those blocks in the back. And we must say we're very impressed with the speed that that particular contractor has taken on in the last week. And we're up to the 2nd level, almost to the 2nd level on that building. So we expect that building to be on time, which will be middle of June for opening for buildings 2 and buildings 3, which are the main commercial buildings. Over here we have building number 6, which will house the main bathrooms. And this contractor here is getting ready to pour the ring beams, and probably by next week we'll have the ring beams poured on that and be able to start going up to the 2nd level. The top level will be similar to this building, where it's a wood construction, and a wood roof similar to this building as well. So we're very much looking forward to that building being completed by the middle of April. And like I said before, this building by the middle of March, by the end of March, this building will be completed. So we're well on the way to becoming what we intend it to be. All these buildings that you see right now will be 2 stories. Every building that we have the foundations built for right now are 2 stories. So we had to pile those foundations because anything over 1 story for engineering code, we had to pile. And the single-story buildings will be in the background over there, so we won't have to pile those at all. You alluded to the fact that earlier we have a lot of men out here, which is a good thing for the BVI economy at this time. So we're estimating probably close to 100 just on this site, the land side. And earlier I was with a contractor over there, and he said he had over 75 over there. So we're looking to close to 200 men total employed on this project, so which is a good thing for the construction industry and also the BVI economy. So in the next couple of weeks, when we get buildings 7 and 13 on the go, that would be another injection of labor, which will be good all around for all of us.
Okay.
This is building number 3. The contractor started work last Monday. So this is basically a week's worth of work, and we can see that the contractor is already up near to the 2nd floor. So we are very happy with the production. And this same contractor is also doing building number 2, which he started yesterday. So if he continues on the pace that we see right now, we definitely know that we'll meet our schedule of mid-June to be completed on both these buildings. All right, we're standing on the slab, which will be building number 7. This is ready to go. We just have to choose the contractor who would start this. A decision on that will be coming before the end of this month. And we also have building number 13. So these 2 buildings will be off the ground before the end of this month. Behind us, we have building number 6. We said earlier this will house the public restrooms and also some retail areas. So we're pushing to get this building completed before the middle of April. And the contractor is well on board to getting that done. We're working with him every day, and he's telling us he will get it done, and we're very hopeful that that will be the case, because this is a very important building for the end of April. So far we are satisfied with the quality of work. We have a number of contractors, local contractors out here, and these contractors compete against each other, but in this environment where it's such a small site, we have to work with each other. And the level of cooperation, I must say, that we're quite happy with. We have one contractor with some equipment helping the other, and of course with the civil works that is digging up the road, he has to be cognizant that contractors have to pass, And we're working together so that we don't hold up each other. And so far, I'm very happy with that. The push is on to get building number 1 completed by the end of March. And I sat with the contractor yesterday and he assured me that that is his goal as well.
This was the Tortola Pier Park project update. Join us next time as we bring more coverage of this important project. I have been your host, Laura Lee Dawson, reporting for the Ministry of Communications and Works.